David Morrison, and you're watching What to Watch on YouTube. This is going to be a bi-weekly show that we're going to do. It's going to tell you what's new on Amazon and Netflix, and more than what's good, it's going to tell you what to watch. A lot of reviewers on here, they like to review new movies come out in cinema. Personally, I don't really go to the box office unless my kids drag me there to see the new movies that are coming out from the Pixar studios, which Toy Story 4 is coming out, so I'm pretty sure we're going to have to go watch that. But mainly what we're going to do here is we're going to dive into the categories that you have on Amazon and Netflix, and maybe even Vudu, and review some old movies that maybe you didn't know about that exist on there on the platform for the time being, that you can go and watch. And it can entertain you for a couple hours. I know I don't get much time to watch movies like I used to, but I know a good movie when I see it. I can spot good directors. I can also spot good actors. Every day and something new is coming out, but half of it isn't worth watching. And I don't want to harp on bad movies. There's an audience for everything. What I'm going to tell you are tried and true favorites. First, we're going to start with the movie that I seen a couple years ago on Netflix. Right now it happens to be streaming on Amazon Prime. And it's called Bone Tomahawk. Bone Tomahawk's a great movie. It's got a great cast. I think it's a first-time director. I'm not really sure. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to look up a lot of this information. It's just what I have on top of my head. I might look up small things, but most things it's just things I already know. Like the director in this case, Craig Zahler. I know he has a bit of a background in music. Don't know how successful that was, but he really hit a home run. He hit a grand slam with this movie. It stars Kurt Russell as the sheriff. His deputy is Richard Jenkins, which you might remember from Step Brothers or any. He's been in a lot of movies, and he really makes this movie with his timing and just his acting. He really holds it together on the long trail through the West when they're trying to find these Indians that they're looking for, who have stolen a deputy and the town doctor, which happens to be Lily Simmons, and she also plays the wife of the professor, which is Patrick Wilson, which you might remember from Lakeview Terrace, a lot of other movies he's been in. Sean Young even makes a small appearance in this movie, which I didn't even recognize her. Matthew Fox also plays a good character, which happens to be like a sharpshooter, morally challenged maybe, but he plays a good character. This movie has all the great things that you want from a great movie. It really moves the timeline. It starts you off with a good backstory. David Arquette and Sid Haig, who you might know from House of a Thousand Rejects, maybe some more Rob Zombie movies, I can't remember. But these two guys start off on a nefarious path and try to take their stealings through the Indian burial ground. And who hasn't seen that played over and over? And I'm going to be honest with you, when you first start watching this movie, it just looks like maybe it's some rehashed garbage that you already seen. Cliche, you know what's going to happen, but I'm telling you, it's got a great twist. It's got a little bit of gore, so if you don't like that, it's not much, but it does appear in the last 20 minutes, I think, and it's pretty gruesome. Whenever Kurt Russell and Richard Jenkins finally get to the den of the Indians, that's when you might want to cut it off if you're of the faint of heart. But this movie starts out, like I said, with Sid Haig and David Arquette, and they're going through the Indian burial ground, and quickly they understand that they've picked the wrong one to travel through. Sid Haig meets his demise, and David Arquette runs back to town. He's met at the bar by a couple locals. Of course, Matthew Fox character is there, and Richard Jenkins happens to see him on his way in. He's informed the sheriff of what's going on, so they go down to pay him a visit. While he is in the town, these Indians come back to collect what's theirs. And then this starts the path of Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, Richard Jenkins, and Matthew Fox traveling through the desert to these Indians, which they've been told are not like regular Indians, but are some sort of inbred Indians. So kind of think the hills have eyes, but they got a great twist. It really was shocking to me, the creativeness that they came up with, and it's reasonable. It's something feasible. It's not outlandish. It's not CGI effects. It's just, this could have happened. It really could have happened. So it makes you think, if this could have happened, I wonder what did happen. I love movies like that. Patrick Wilson's wife gets taken, Lily Simmons, and he's injured. Once he gets out in the desert for a 3-day, 5-day ride, I don't want to give any spoilers because I want you to watch the movie because it's worth watching. Craig Zahler's directed a couple movies since then, and I've seen them. Great cast: Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn. Not as great movies. They just don't have the pop that this one has. The story isn't there. It isn't as good. It's just your run-of-the-mill kind of story. It's not bad. It's just not great. To me, I'm not going to rewatch it again. This movie, I will probably rewatch until the end of time. If I can, in fact, I bought it just to watch it again the other day. So I'll probably be rewatching this a couple of times. But this is my first movie review. I hope you like it. Hopefully there'll be more to come. This is something I want to start doing. Subscribe to my channel, and even leave a comment below. Like it. Tell your friends. And this is David Morrison with What to Watch.